everyone, and welcome back to Jak 2 Renegade on the Sony PlayStation 3. I am One Welsh Sheep yet again, and today we're going to do Whack-A-Mole!
Hey guys, whatever Crew put in that machine, he looked really nervous.
Whatever it is, Crew won't be needing it anymore. He's, shall we say, not altogether these days. Step aside, Jack. Let the game player do his stuff.
You're such an animal.
I worry for Tess. it's like she has a thing for Daxter. She does, but it's kind of less weird in the third game even, but that's for another time. Anyway, this, ladies and gentlemen, is a Whack-A-Mole minigame. We have to whack all of the Metalhead heads that pop up from the machine by using the D-pad or the face buttons on the controller. Now, depending on what button you press, corresponds to a different area of the thingy that these things come. What's this thing called? The whacking station. There we go. Let's call it the whacking station. But yeah, basically you press square, triangle, circle, X to go on the right hand side to get those 4 done, and you press up, down, left, right to do the left hand side of these things. It's a very easy minigame. I do enjoy doing it, and of course we do need to get a maximum of 1500 points, I believe. Either way, we need to get quite a few points, so let's just get this on and on. Now, this is a weird minigame just because it's deceptively difficult. I mean, I like getting combos like that because you just tap buttons in a sequence and you do a massive combo ultra quick. But it's a weird minigame in that there's no real reason why Daxter decides to do this. There's no real... I don't know, the game just sort of throws this minigame out of left field at you and expects you to think, oh, okay, cool, I'm gonna do this minigame. And you have to beat this minigame to progress in the game, ladies and gentlemen. This isn't optional. But I do like the fact that it does change up the gameplay style a little bit, so what can I say? It's time to whack some Metalheads on the... well, the head. It's so freaking metal, you know, brutal legend. Jack Black would have a boner.
The time map! You know, Sugar Plum, if any real metalheads came to town, I'd bunk them just like I did in the game.
Daxter?
They'd be all, don't hurt me, please! And I'd be all, too late, metal monkeys! You die screaming! Know what I'm saying? Jack, I think these trophies are still working! Metalheads! Metalheads! Where's Sig when you need him?
Sig? I think Crew sent Sig on one last mission. Something about using Mars Ruby Key to open a secret door in the underport.
Of course! Come on, Dax. We need to get to the underport right now.
I'll take the time map to Kira.
Be careful, Angel Chicks, and your hero will return shortly.
I have to say, it's very, very fortunate that they knew that Tess knows Crew put in the Metalhead thingy into that machine, isn't it? And what a weird hiding place for the time map. Of all the places to put it inside a Whack-A-Mole machine. What? Oh, I digress. Anyway, it's time for one of the most frustrating missions in the game, and as you can tell, the entire the entire city's overrun by Metalheads. Oh my god! So, yeah, now we can just shoot Metalheads, and we can't really grind them for skill gems, with the exception of 1 or 2 of them, so, I don't know, they made it in such a way you can't really grind these enemies to skill gems, and it makes me kind of sad. But this, ladies and gentlemen, is the last stretch, actually, because the next part is the finale. We're heading to the end, and unfortunately, we have another mech suit section. And this is the single worst mech suit section in the game because of this one fact: we're underwater. And this mech suit, as you can tell by the right-hand side of the screen, has an air gauge. So you have to go through this mission in this mech suit, dodging all the mines. If you touch a mine, you blow up, so it's not a good idea. And go through all these light vents whenever you see them in order to refill your oxygen supply. And if you don't do that, you're gonna drown. If you're gonna drown, it's gonna be bad news for you. And you also have swimming Metalheads to be more of a nuisance. And this is a traditional water level in the fact that it's as boring, as tedious, and as frustrating as an actual water level tends to be. I really don't like this that much. I really don't. Probably the worst mission in the game. I wouldn't say it's the hardest, because that one mission where we were walking down all those planks with the Crimson Guards assaulting us is probably the hardest, but this mission is the most tedious and boring, I have to be honest. I really don't like this mission. It's a good idea. It's just the execution could have probably gone a bit better, because whenever you're inside this walking mech, for one thing, your jumping controls become extremely stiff and awkward to use. And for some reason, in this particular hallway, the camera is so zoomed in. As you can tell, I can barely tell what's going on. The camera angle is not very helpful for this. It's very tedious. But whenever you come up to doorways in this area, just punch them open. And whenever you come to puzzles like this, puzzle in heavy quotations, by the way, you punch the thingies and they'll make the platforms float on up, you know? But yeah, it's a fairly simple section. I can't say too much about it other than the fact it's just boring and very tedious and difficult to get through. Because what you'll see is lots of enemies will be popping up around, and like these jellyfish Metalheads, I want to say badniks. And if they catch you off guard, well, obviously they'll hurt. They're not likely to kill you though. The biggest threat are the mines, because the mines, even though they're huge and look easy enough to dodge around, they're deceptive. They're deceptively hard to avoid. So if you see a mine, try and keep as far away from it as possible. I know it's a huge ass thing, and missing the mine is probably like the hardest thing you can possibly do in this mission, because obviously it's hard to not see the mine. But just be careful, you know, it's really tedious. I don't like it. It's a water level, you know. It kind of really makes me wish I was playing Jak 1. That's all I can say. This is probably the low point of this game, without a doubt. I mean, at least Jak and Daxter 1's water level, well, it didn't really go underwater at all, but it had generic, normal, everyday platform, you know. Either way, whenever you go to these areas where it looks like a drainage system, that's basically our cue to end this area. So that's it, normal water level, thank God for that. And honestly, I don't like it. I do not like that section. It's just so bleh. But now it's time for yet another one of the hardest sections in the game, but let's meet up with Sig first.
Hey there, tough guy.
Get your skinny ass over here and start shooting! Man, was I set up! Crew sent me down here to open some old doors with that ruby key you found. And when I did, Metalheads came streaming in from some passage outside the city walls. Just like they were waiting for me. There's one!
Crew's dead.
Yeah? Well, he's lucky, because he would not want me to catch him alive.
The Metalheads must have promised Crew plenty for him to betray the whole city like this.
Let's get out of here.
But what could they have promised him? Because, honestly, what do the Metalheads have to give? Well, I don't know. Anyway, hope you guys like block pushing puzzles, because, like Legacy King, this mission has the lot of them, and...
Did you hear something? Shooting this is only gonna get it mad. Run!
Now, if you get caught by this thing, it's going to be instant death. If you miss a pit, it's going to be instant death. So keep running and good luck. You know, I've had to replay this section so many times in this. Well, you don't see me fail, but I failed a lot. Let's just put it like this. This is deceptively difficult, because the camera's so stuck on this giant centipede thing. It's quite awkward.
I think that's the last we'll see of him.
Don't jinx us like that, Sig. You should know not to jinx us like that. I think that's the last we'll see of him. No! You know very well that won't be the last we see of him. This game, sometimes, this game. Although I tell you what this reminds me of. This actually reminds me of the block pushing puzzles back in Pokemon. Except they're a lot less tedious than they are in Pokemon, because let's face it, the Pokemon block pushing puzzles are awful. But we do have a limited time to push these blocks into place, so if you're too slow, basically, good luck.
Great! Here comes that bad boy again. Move!
But yeah, don't try and kill this giant centipede, because you can't. If you try to kill a centipede, he's gonna kill you. Well, he's not instant kill, I don't believe. But, he will hurt you if he touches you. And the problem is you need to stay close-ish to him as well, because the camera is locked on the centipede. The camera is the biggest threat in this entire mission, because you can't see where you're jumping. It's shaking you all over the place. The camera's your biggest enemy. But just keep going. Eventually he'll get through just fine. I'm not a big fan of this mission though. It's just I just don't like it.
Let's go. We're almost to the elevator.
Looks like we finally lost them, Chili Peppers. Piece of cake, huh? Now you boys are real wastelanders. I say it's time we take this fight to the Metalhead leader himself. What a trophy he'll make. We find a way to juice up Mars' old gun, and then boom, baby! We storm the nest, guns blazing. Hell, we'll take them all on together. You and me, side by side. Nothing'll stop us, 'cause Shit!
So, what's plan B?
What was Sid gonna say? We're what? Are we Sonic heroes or not? 'Cause we're Sonic heroes. But I digress. That's that mission over and done with, and with the disappearance of Sig, it's time to head on to the Metalhead base. Pretty much. Well, we're not heading over there just yet. We still have some extra side things to do, but yeah, we're almost to the
This
end.
is Kira. Thanks for getting the artifacts, guys. It's strange. The time map had a bunch of old coordinates in it. Come see me at the stadium.
Righto, but first, I believe... Actually, are we going straight to the stadium, or are we going to see the Oracle? So I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to show off the Oracle, because we know the gist by now. Go to the Oracle, get a bit more powerful. Yep, I just skipped the Oracle. Okay. He didn't really give us anything. Trust me, folks, you're not missing out on anything. I think he gave us, like, invincibility, maybe, or extra health. But I digress. Time for the beginning of the end. So let's just talk to Kira.
The Rift Rider's finished. But if my father's right and the ring is somewhere in the Metalhead nest, how are we going to get the Rift Rider there to use it?
Look! Bruder just knew friends would need lift if Metalheaders attack.
Bruder, you the man!
Yucca balloons are finest lifters in world, but they is easy target.
Right. You guys get the Rift Rider to the nest. I'll stay here and defend your takeoff and getaway.
Once again, being your friend sucks! I wanna go in the balloon!
You keep stadium safe while we prep balloon for lift away. Oh no, here they come! Metalheaders!
Yeah, they are headers, alright. A lot of people who aren't from my area won't even understand what that means. Header just means nut job in slang in where I live. But yeah, we just need to protect the two Samoses again from all the Metalheads that are gonna either pop out of the ground or come from the stadium itself. And yeah, this mission sounds difficult. And it is difficult, but if you're quick on your heels and you stay close to the two Samoses and abuse the hell out of the spin, jump, super kick, sexy time move, then honestly, you'll get through this just fine. And also, this is like the ultimate stage to grind Metalhead Skull Gems on if you can, because so many of these Metalheads pop up, and every single one of them will drop a Skull Gem. So, yeah, if you want your Skull Gems, just kill all the enemies, and you can just fail this mission a few times if you want, and boom, Bob is your uncle. Yeah. But honestly, I'm not really going to bother with that, because let's face it, I don't care too much about the Skull Gems at this point in time. All I care about is getting to the end of the game. But we are getting close to the end of the game, folks, now, and I don't know if this is the mission I'm thinking of, but it's either this mission or the entrance to the next mission, which I think it is. It's the end game, so we're getting so close to the end of the game, so be careful if you don't want to take on the final world and you want to explore Haven City first, because we're coming up to the end point, folks. We're coming up to the point of no return. When we go to the final mission, we want to be able to come back. It's kind of annoying, I know, but them's the breaks.
I'm popping away!
Must be nice floating away while we die down here!
We'll meet near the nest. See you soon, Jack. Be careful.
Yeah, Jack! Be careful!
Jack. Core. Construction site.
I have to sympathize with Daxter there, because yeah, everyone cares about Jack, but everyone seems to ignore Daxter, you know? Be careful, Jack. Yeah, what about me? I'm Daxter. Nah, you all got it. It wouldn't be a Jack and Daxter game without me. That's like the worst Daxter impression you're probably ever going to hear. But I digress. Anyway, it's time to go on to an area of the game that we haven't been to before, and this is where one of the biggest plot twists of the game is actually going to come into play, folks, and I'm not going to spoil it because I'm going to leave the cutscene, let you know what it's like. But this mission, if anyone's played the PSP game Daxter, the area we're going to might actually be recognizable to some people, because this area is actually in Daxter. It's one of the earliest missions of the game. Although it's much bigger than it is in this game, folks, so apparently during the construction process they destroyed most of the construction site, but I digress. Basically, this area is bigger in the PSP game, that's all. And I like the PSP game Dark Zero. I may get to it at some point in the future because it's a fun time. But yeah, we are on the beginning of the end, folks. This is where everything hits the fan. It's very abrupt, actually, how things happen, because enemy souls just start pouring into the city, and everything sort of happens at once. It's like there's no real build-up to all this happening, which kind of bugs me, really. I would have liked to have like a little bit of build-up, just to say, oh yeah, Metalheads are planning to attack up the city, and they try to foreshadow it a little bit with that one fight scene where we were working with I forgot her name. The Baron's daughter. I forget her name. But Ashlyn, that's the one. They tried to tease it a little bit when we were fighting with alongside Ashlyn when the Metalheads first broke into the city. But I would have liked a bit more extra foreshadowing with this, you know, folks, because it just sort of comes out of nowhere where everything just hits the fan. Don't get me wrong, when everything hits the fan, you can tell it hits the fan bad. The entire city turns into a battlefield, and I love that. You know, it really gives you the end game feel, but come on, guys, come on. You can do more than this, come on. But I digress. This is pretty much the final area. Well, the final area of the game apart from the final stage.
Core, what's going on?
They took my face! I'm sure you know. Deep down in your darkest nightmares. We've met before, remember? Everything's going exactly as planned.
Jack! It's the Metalhead leader!
Oh my God! Now you see! Without the shield wall disrupting my powers inside the city, I am my full potential now. So for the last time, give me the Precursor Stone! If the city must die, then we all die! Ah! I will find that stone if I have to crush this city one brick at a time! You are the supreme weapon, Jack. And I made you. Still, any leader worth his salt always has his backup plan. Remember, the first rule in making a bomb is to always make two.
Oh, okay, I'm going in. Man, what a mess of junk in here. All jumbled coils and switches. Oh, should I unhook the blue wire? Wait a minute, Aratzel's colorblind? Let me just break a few more things and see if anything pops loose. Boom! Gotcha! Like candy from a baby.
It took him this long to realize he's colorblind? But yeah, who saw that twist coming? I didn't. I really didn't during my first playthrough, and it's strange because if you look at Core during the entire course of the game, he'll make all these odd facial things in reactions, and you'll notice that they're subtly hinting that he's up to no good. But I didn't get the subtlety when I was, I didn't notice when I was first playing through the game. Now, when I hit this point, I was like, oh my god, what? The old man is the villain. Oh my goodness gracious me. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, that was a hell of a time. So thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't be sheepish, and I'll catch you all next time for the grand finale of Jak 2 Renegade. Thanks for watching, people. Don't be sheepish. I'll catch you all next time. Bye!